Hi, you're watching Current Issues. My name is Vineet Malhotra. As expected, Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif devoted most of his speech at the UN General Assembly session to the events in Kashmir. But now all eyes will be on Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj, who will deliver her speech at the UN General Assembly on the 26th of September. After the Uri terror attack, New Delhi has decided to up the ante against Pakistan on the global stage, and Sushma Swaraj's speech may also highlight the human rights violation in Balochistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, as well as Pakistan's role in terror attacks against India. So the question is, how will Indian government look at the current scenario? Pakistan seems to be in a no mood of relenting, and there have been reports of F-16 aircrafts flying over Islamabad yesterday. Pakistan Air Force claimed it to be a routine training exercise, while India is thickening its posture along the LOC. Pakistan too has shored up its borders and defences, including reinforcing its artillery positions. Is isolating Pakistan the only option apart from diplomacy, or will India exercise other options as well? We delve into this debate, and this is the point, and this is the opportunity when I introduce my guest. With me in the studio is Colonel Dalveer Singh, who is a defense expert. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Shashank, former IFS, is also with me in the studio. Sir, thank you for being here. And we will also be joined by Mr. P.N. Hoon, who's a defense analyst. He will be joining us from Chandigarh. Sir, thank you so much for talking to us. And let's get into this debate. Mr. Shashank, let's open the debate with you. Acting against Pakistan, urgently is probably a matter of a great priority for this government, because if it's not done under a certain set of time, it will be perceived as our weakness. You agree, sir, or no?
The history of Indo-Pak relations over the last couple of decades shows that every time Pakistan has mounted terrorist campaign in India, we have responded by starting, stalling, restarting talks with Pakistan. So therefore, Pakistan has been encouraged to believe that if it can convince India that there are both terroristic activities inside Pakistan and inside India, then India and Pakistan can continue to hold their dialogue, and which at some stage was even called an uninterrupted and uninterruptible continuous dialogue. Now that has changed. So therefore, there is great expectation in the minds of the Indian people that perhaps this time the government of India would respond in a more befitting manner, so that Pakistan does not carry out these damaging activities against the Indian people, and especially now that they have even extended it to the Indian Army and Air Force headquarters in the region. So therefore, there is a great amount of expectation, there is a great amount of anguish on the part of the Indians. The government is under great pressure as a democratic representative government that they must respond to these wishes, because after all, how long are they going to continue to take these terroristic activities inside Pakistan, inside India, where hundreds of people lose their lives.
Right.
So and then the talks cannot go on. So Pakistan has to be given a message that the best way would be to curb these terroristic activities, to bring all these people from the army, ISI and the terrorist groups under control, and when they want to talk to India or any other interlocutor, they talk in one voice, not that they say one thing and do completely to the contrary.
Okay, Colonel Singh, coming to you, it seems to be a contradictory stance, because, I've just received this news that, Pakistan is probably very much against us offering any kind of an asylum to Mr. Bukti, and the defense minister has warned India that if we continue to do so, if we continue to entertain Bukti and give him any sort of an asylum, we will be harboring terrorism. What do you make of that?
Well, Pakistan is reeling under tremendous fear psychosis. After the tweet of our Prime Minister 3-4 days back, Pakistan has gone into a big huddle. The army has been mobilized, the northern areas, airspace has been closed, the Pakistan Air Force has been conducting exercises, and they are under tremendous pressure. The pressure also is domestic, pressure is diplomatic, and Balochistan, India is playing the cards on Balochistan very well, as far as I think, that's what I feel. So when they are talking about, as you said, that if we give him asylum, Mr. Bukti asylum, then it will be supporting terrorism as per the Pakistanis. But then somebody should ask them that how about they supporting the Hurriyats or glamorizing Burhan Wani. So I think Pakistan has got it totally wrong. They have
Do you think they have self-implicated themselves by declaring Burhan Wani
nobody is buying their talk. So they have got fixed themselves in their own muddle. That's what I personally feel.
Okay, General Hoon, coming to you, Pakistan is one country where our diplomatic efforts have started with a bang, but they've always ended with a whimper. Do you think even if we try to isolate Pakistan diplomatically, the terror infrastructure that exists in Pakistan will have no bearing on it at all?
Well, let me tell you, let me start off by saying that as far as I am concerned, I am not an analyst. I have been a fighter. I joined in 47 and I was 49, I got commissioned. I have fought every war, whether it has been against China, whether it's been thrice against Pakistan, including the 65 and 71. And I was Director of Military Affairs to the Cabinet, and let me tell you, that whatever is happening is absolutely under the carpet. We have to come out and tell them what we are and what we have done to you. Have they forgotten the tanks? It was the graveyard of the tanks. They want to try that? Okay, we'll give you the graveyard. The point is that Pakistan is getting a lot of money from outside. It's a fact. That money is also reaching into Kashmir. You see what's Kashmir? Pakistan always said that as far as Kashmir is concerned, we have to take it over. They are going to take it over. We are going to smash their head. Let me tell you that. We are not under the sand with our head buried. We are going to give them a real hollocking this time. You see in United Nations what's happened? Nawaz Sharif is shamed. We are ashamed. And now I'm telling you what all we can do. First of all, water. We'll stop their water. See what we do. Then we are also getting new aircraft, which are absolutely super. In 1 minute, they can go 10 miles away. So if we go straight up, we are not in any territory over any country. We will show them what we are and how we do it. The third thing is that all this ISIS is being trained in Pakistan. They have been taken away. Their army now is not what they thought that was, because even when they thought it was, we gave them a bloody nose. And they want to go through it again, and they are challenging us in Kashmir. They are the people who are doing all this nonsense. Right. And I can assure you that the Indian army is ready, and the country is ready to give our blood. We all are. This thing by this thing by coming at night and then killing our 20 people, we'll kill 20,000 of them.
Okay. Mr. Shashank, coming back to you, Pakistan last night scrambled some of its jets. What kind of a message is it trying to give India by, doing that? And, another thing is that Pakistan has always talked about it being a nuclear state. Do you think, the pretense that Pakistan has always, given about being a nuclear state, that is probably leaving us a lot more vulnerable to these proxy attacks?
No, that's what the Pakistanis are trying to convey to India and to the world, that they would escalate the conflict very rapidly and take it to the nuclear stage. So that is their psychological warfare effort which they are trying to do. But India has made its own calculations, it has done its own exercises to see that how Pakistan can be given a fitting response to the terrorist attacks which they have been mounting. And first attempt is that India talks to the neighboring countries in South Asia, finds out that they are also suffering from the effects of terrorism coming out of Pakistan. Secondly, they would talk to other members of their various regional and inter-regional groupings where India is a member and has been talking regularly to these countries to tell them that what Pakistan has been doing. So they must also impose sanctions against Pakistan. Also, they should think of declaring Pakistan a terrorist state. I think we have seen some very straightforward reactions from countries like the US, France, UK, Russia, and in our neighborhood from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. So I think this effort should go on, and at the same time we should be able to give a signal to Pakistan that, well, this will not be the only thing. As General Hoon talked about the water treaty, that there could be changes in the treaties which have been accepted as being enforced by India as a matter of practice, but otherwise they don't really exist, because the treaties they give way once there is an active war between two countries, and we have had so many wars between
and
the two of us.
treaties, sir, are usually made between friends and not enemies. And Colonel Singh, coming back to you, war is ruled out, strike is probably not viable, hot pursuit into Pakistan is probably going to be very, very risky. Then how do we show Pakistan militarily that enough is enough?
Well, let me tell you, nothing is ruled out. When you have you have donned the gloves in the boxing ring, then nothing is ruled out. And it appears so that the nation, the mood is there, the nation is now ready, and they are now people are exploring the options, which option to exercise. Not exercising a military option is no more an option. Please understand that it's no more an option. Deep strikes, covert strikes, overt strikes, little bit of nibbling actions, activating the line of control, etc. There is a huge list of options that includes also, apart from the Indus, we also can block Pakistan economically, the naval blockade, and likewise. So it is wrong to say that there is nothing available on the table.
Okay, Mr. Shashank, coming back to you, the Indus Water Treaty is probably an area which can resolve this matter without firing a single bullet. The treaty only benefits India up to 20%. And most of the advantages go in Pakistan's favor. Pakistan has never bilaterally honored any of the agreements that we have signed with them, be it the Shimla agreement or be it the agreement to not promote terrorism across the borders. Then why should we abstain from cancelling this treaty?
Well, this is what has been suggested by several senior people, including the former Foreign Minister Yashwant Sinha, that time has come now to tell Pakistan clearly that if it keeps on violating all the bilateral understandings and treaties, then, and there have been active war in the past, and now also this is a war by other means that is going on, that India can also take this step. Let me say one thing, that while 80% of the water goes to Pakistan, but I think that most of it goes into the sea, because Pakistan has also not been using it to that extent as yet. India, of course, is not using the water which it is entitled to that extent. But what happens is that Pakistan is trying to use its position under the treaty to veto any activity on the part of India to provide water or electricity or any other kind of irrigation facilities to people of Kashmir and people of other parts of North India. So I think that is what Pakistan has been trying to do, is to block India's progress, and especially of the people of Kashmir on whose behalf it claims to talk regularly.
Okay, General Hoon, coming to you, Pakistan has a growing proximity with China. China has publicly, internationally defended Pakistan. It has refused to recognize some of the terror outfits that exist in Pakistan as terror outfits. Do you think this proximity between China and Pakistan that is growing on a daily basis is a result of our proximity, which has grown over the last few years with the United States?
Well, let me tell you that this information is wrong. China has said that they are a rogue state and we will have to take action. They are with us. Their submarines are already in Gwadar. They are there and they have taken over the whole of Pakistan, and they are going to really play hell. Now I want to tell you about the Simla agreement. Agreements are there, but they are broken when they have to be. If you remember the Siachen Glacier, that was because of the Simla agreement, in which Bhutto and our Prime Minister at that time, they agreed to do something which is they wanted to do. So orders were clear. I was then the co-commander, and I was ordered, what will you do? I said, it's very easy. We are going to take the whole of Siachen, that's 7,000 square kilometers at 27,000 feet, temperatures at 40. On 13th of April 1984, our brave troops, they went in, and so did I with them. Till today, they dare not ask us to withdraw, because we are there, that's our area. We overlook the Chinese also, and Chinese are very, very happy at the moment. They made a huge road on the north of Siachen Glacier, and they go right up to Gwadar. So, I am saying that please, let's not be passive and say that Pakistan will do this, they are doing, taking aircraft. What the hell? How many aircraft will they take? 10, 20, 30? We'll shoot them down. This is not the Rafale and the others that we are going to get. So Pakistan must wake up. We are ready to be friends with them, but on conditions that they will withdraw all their people of ISIS who are playing hell into Kashmir. You think the Kashmiris are happy with what is happening? No, they are not happy. So we have to see that Pakistan does not move, and if they move, they'll get a bloody nose.
Okay, Colonel Singh, coming back to you, supporting Balochistan is probably high on the agenda of the current government, and on 15th August, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, made it clear that he is standing with the Baloch people. In 1971, we were instrumental in freeing Bangladesh. Do you think the Balochistan cause is probably going to help us more, in isolating Pakistan and ending this historical battle and this nuisance that we've had with this rogue neighbor for over 70 years now?
See, Balochistan has enabled India to call Pakistan's bluff as far as human rights is concerned, and also it brings to foray that the champions of Islam are killing Muslims in Balochistan in the most gruesome manner that can be. So Pakistan is exposed on many fronts, and by raising Balochistan, we have done a fantastic thing. We should not shy away with that, and please understand, right from 1948, 65, 71, India has lost the war on the table. However, our soldiers won it on ground. The latest being the Simla agreement. It is it's an agreement to treason as far as India is concerned. We released 93,000 Pakistani troops, but could not get our 58 prisoners of war from Pakistan. We just gave them away. For what? Pakistan does not recognize your Simla agreement. We only harp on Simla agreement. So it's a very fantastic decision taken by the government of India to do away with this bilateralism which is not working. Go to the United Nations, talk about Kashmir, highlight what Pakistan is doing, also talk about Balochistan, Gilgit and the POK, and that's what India is doing. It's a very fantastic thing that we are doing.
And of course, Mr. Shashank, the dichotomy that exists within Pakistan, on one hand you have the deep state, which is the army, which is the iron hand which runs the government, and then you have puppets like Nawaz Sharif, who are sent to these General Assembly meetings. The international community also needs to be privy to the fact, that there is this dual system of governance in Pakistan. The actual powers, the reins lie with the military, but nobody wants to talk to the military. Everybody wants to talk to the diplomats who have no power left in their hands.
Well, for a long time, the military had been able to convince the Western powers that if they were not there, Pakistan would become a totally rogue state, controlled by totally unreliable political people.
Isn't it already, sir? Isn't it already a rogue state?
Well, this is what they had been able to convince the Western countries, especially the United States, that the army is helping keeping the country together, somewhat amenable to discipline based on their negotiations with the American side. So the military was talking to the Americans. That's what they have been doing to Saudi Arabia, to China and many other countries from where they are getting money and weapons. What is happening is that yes, for purposes of the democracy in America, they had been satisfying the US Congress by putting a civilian face on the government by either having Benazir Bhutto or Nawaz Sharif. But we have seen how Benazir Bhutto was killed or how Nawaz Sharif was dispensed with and Musharraf then took over power. So therefore, these people are there only at the mercy of the military leaders. And though at one time the military leader who was also the civilian chief, General Musharraf, he negotiated an agreement with India and said that in January 2004 that Pakistan would not allow any terrorist activities to emanate from any part of Pakistan, whether in Pakistan or under any administrative control of Pakistan. They kept it only for a few months and afterwards they withdrew more or less from it. And ever since the Mumbai attack, they have been carrying on a series of attacks. They have been trying to somehow convince the world community that if they talk about all these attacks, then the world community should advise India and Pakistan to come together to discuss terrorism, to discuss negotiating their peaceful development. So I think this is now is changed because last 1 year we have seen a number of attacks in the Western countries. So they have realized what Pakistan state is all about.
Right.
And it's no longer necessary for India to convince them that India is suffering from terrorism. That past story is gone. China is the only one which I think is still believing that perhaps it can replace the United States and become the benefactor of Pakistan and in return would get the territory of Pakistan in the same way that it is using the territory and labor, cheap labor of North Korea.
Right.
And it can then become grandfather the nuclear and missile cooperation between Pakistan and North Korea and increase its influence in this region and becomes kind of a G2 world power vis-a-vis the United States. So I think this is the very cynical game which Chinese are playing.
Right.
And we have to tell them as and when we get an opportunity. I think the first opportunity will be coming very soon when we have the BRICS summit. So there will be discussions between the Chinese leadership and Indian Prime Minister, and we should tell them very clearly that this doesn't work. There are terrorists who have been trained in Pakistan who have also acted against the Chinese interests. So Chinese must really take care of all this.
Act like a responsible nation. Colonel Singh, you wanted to come in at some point.
I wanted to say that since the time the global war on terrorism has been declared after the Twin Tower attack in New York, the Americans have joined the war in Afghanistan, leading the NATO, and this has been the game changer. They have come very close to the reality of Pakistan. They have understood Pakistan very well, and they have understood the games that Pakistan plays as far as hiding the terrorists and saying something and things like that. So the Western powers are very well aware, very well clued up now what Pakistan is up to, and it is because of this reason that Pakistan has found no takers to its command in United Nations General Assembly after Nawaz Sharif's argument, the speech. So presently the situation is totally different. The world fully understands Pakistan. Pakistan is no more a compulsion like before, since US troops were there in Afghanistan. Perforce Pakistan's support was required, but that is not the case anymore. Today we have Iran, we have Afghanistan, we have Bangladesh, who are fed up of Pakistan. They are supporting us, and the world understands the mood. Absolutely. Chinese also, who have got into Pakistan for economic reasons, are also feeling the heat. There are protests against the Chinese labor which is working in the northern areas and in Balochistan area, and very shortly you'll see that the Chinese are also facing the music.
Absolutely.
So Pakistan is a troubled place.
Exactly. And, you know, extending upon what Colonel Singh said, General Hoon, coming to you, you know, the US Congress, you know, recently decided to pass a bill. They want to declare Pakistan a terrorist and a rogue nation, which has become a cancer for the entire world. And some of those people, some of those congressmen also feel that when the United States attacked Afghanistan after 9/11, it shouldn't have attacked Afghanistan. The actual country they should have attacked was Pakistan.
Well, what is being said is correct. but there are 2-3 things that I want to bring to their notice, the whole world. The first thing is that not only the United States, even Russia today is against Pakistan. So the world is looking into Pakistan as to what is happening. The second thing, we have to hit them. Till we hit them, they will not move. Someone was talking about Siachen. But Siachen, have they dared to even come there? Every time there was an attack, even today, it's been repelled. I give them full opportunity that if they want to attack Siachen, try it. Because we are not a passive army. We are soldiers, and even our people, they are all behind us. Now comes to a break in the relationships. Now, the break in the relationships is that India is the largest Muslim population in the world. And we have got them. So we are their brothers there. There's no question. They behave themselves, we remain. As far as Pakistan is concerned, if in Kashmir they carry on, we'll have to just send them across the line of control, put garlands in their on their necks, and give them 2 days food and tell them get out. Go to Pakistan.
Right.
We will allow you. For that, we have to carry out a zonal thing, like in a absolute session where we are going to vote. And we will find that how many people are there who are there, they should not be there. They have infiltrated.
Okay.
So now we can give them a chance. I say so. I would give them a chance. Okay, you want to go? We'll send you.
Okay.
You don't want to stay with us? Go.
All right,
There's
sir.
no problem.
All right,
They
sir.
can't
So
keep
we've
on
run out of time.
putting, Indian flag
I'll have to
somewhere
end the
else
show now,
and
but before we
Pakistani
leave,
flag
Mr.
somewhere
Shashank,
else.
I'm going to come to you
Our,
for the final words.
Flag is going to fly all the time.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Mr. Shashank, last few seconds left. The question I want to ask you is that how serious do you think is our government about responding to the attacks in Uri, and if we are not able to gather up the spunk required to reply to Pakistan, will it be political suicide for a lot of people who are in the current government?
Well, firstly, the government has made repeatedly clear that it is getting ready to take action, and action will be taken. The second point as regards the question of suicide and all that, I mean, these are political issues on which people's feelings have to be respected by the elected leaders.
Right.
And I'm quite sure that they have their system of finding out whether through opinion polls or whatever means as to what the people want, and at the same time to do it in a professional manner,
Right.
in a comprehensive, calibrated manner, so that they know what they are willing to achieve,
What
and
they're getting into.
then they can achieve that objective.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for being here. I'd like to thank my guests for being on Current Issues, Colonel Singh, General Hoon, and Mr. Shashank. Thank you so much for being on the show. That is all we have on Current Issues. We'll see you on Monday. Keep watching News World India. Thank you.